I once met a 70-year-old woman who had lost the love of her life, her husband, who died at the age of 74. For months she carried her grief like a heavy coat, unsure if she would ever feel warm again. But one day, she started tending to her garden, a small heart for a significant one. She told me that planting new flowers didn't mean she had forgotten the past. It simply meant she was making room for life again. That's the thing about courage. It's not in the loud, or it's not always in the loud or the dramatic things. Sometimes it's just the quiet decision to keep going, to sit with grief, letting it shape us, but not letting it define us. To wake up and face another day, even when our hearts feel heavy, choosing to remember without being consumed, to carry love forward rather than letting loss close us off. That takes a kind of strength that isn't always recognized, but it is one of the deepest kinds of bravery. And then there is change, the kind that loss forces on us. It is uncomfortable, sometimes terrifying, but staying stuck in the past is even harder. Moving forward isn't about forgetting. Yeah? It is about honoring what was while still making space for what could be. Courage also shows up in our relationships. It's in the decision to love, knowing fully well that loss is always a possibility. It is in the willingness to forgive, even when it hurts, and in the vulnerability of showing up as our true selves, inclusive of our scars and all. The people who keep choosing connections despite past wounds are the ones who build the richest, most meaningful lives. Even creativity, in its own way, is an act of courage. I think of a man who lost his job. We see it's a sense of purpose. But instead of, retreating into despair, he started painting, something he hadn't done since childhood. Each brush stroke became a way of reclaiming himself. That's what courage looks like. It's finding ways to express, rebuild, begin, and even begin again, even when everything feels uncertain. So if you are in a season of grief, changes, or uncertainty, know this: you are already braver than you think. One small step, one act of hope at a time. That's how courage really is. One small step, one act of hope at a time. That's how courage really is.